we encounter situations that we determine are problems that we want to do something about because we would prefer that the situation actually be different than it is. And that the difference between those two creates a gap, which in, encourages us to investigate the situation and develop a level of understanding sufficient to create a strategy that when we implement it, it actually improves the situation and moves it in the direction of the desired situation. Though because of our lack of understanding of the complicated nature of the environment in which this situation actually exists and the typical separation, the distance and time separation between our actions and the actual implications of our actions, more often than not, the strategy that we implement doesn't minimize unintended consequences, and those unintended consequences tend to make the situation worse or create new problems that we or someone else needs to deal with in the future. So what we do is we take this situation that we're aware of, this problem that we want to deal with, and this complex reality, and we use that situation as a focus to help us sort out that set of relevant relationships out of this complicated mess that essentially promotes an understanding, and hopefully an understanding, when we get it right, on a level of real insight, so that we have a sense of why things are happening the way they are, and how we ought to go about dealing with them to in fact pursue this preferred alternative that we're interested in. Though the difficulty is that the models that we create have to take into account the context, whether or not the system that we're dealing with is simple or complex, and whether the stakeholders that have to engage in developing this way forward in the future are relatively aligned on their goals and objectives, or whether they are not really well aligned but can become aligned in particular instances, or are individuals or groups who will never agree on anything. And based upon these categories of the context and the categories of stakeholders, there are a multitude of different approaches that one can employ to attempt to identify, define, design a way forward. So the models that we develop have to take into account who it is that needs to engage in what kind of context. So in this course, we will investigate a number of alternatives for developing models of different types to help provide a basis for understanding, so that hopefully we can actually get better at this and sort of not continue to be the enemy who is us in terms of the way forward. So hope you sort of get a sense of what this course is about, and this introduction will probably be replaced later as a better understanding of what's actually in the course gets figured out. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.